Sanatana Dharma, based on the Vedas, has analyzed our identity or our existence and the identity, the cause for the identity, the cause for birth, all these things. The Vedic Dharma or the Vedic scriptures are analyzed like this, and they have concluded that the Jivatma or the soul or the self or the individualized self, Paramatma, Akhanda Paramatma, it is undivided. But when Paramatma wants to manifest, he is one, he or she or it, Paramatma. There is no gender for Paramatma, it is Parabrahma. The wish to manifest, the sankalpa, the resolution or the resolve to manifest. Paramatma is with unlimited capacity. But for Paramatma's own joy, Paramatma wanted to manifest. Manifest means I am one, I wish to be many. I am one, I wish to be many. That was the sankalpa of Paramatma. Moment Paramatma willed, then the entire universe came into being. Once the entire universe came into being, then Paramatma himself once again manifests as living beings also. Paramatma manifests as living beings. Among the living beings there are many species. Normally in our Sanatana there is a 84 lakh. 84 lakh is 84 lakhs of species. 84 lakhs of different types of living beings. From where to where? From the first living being called as Brahma. Brahma is also in the category, although he is one of the Trimurtis. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. But Brahma is in the category of the Jivatma. Brahma is the category of the Jivatma. So Brahmadi Pipilikanta. Pipilikanta means up to the ant. In other words, the smallest living being. So 84 lakhs of species are there. So in these species we have all the reptiles, birds, animals, all these are. But when it came to man, when the sankalpa was to become a man or in the form of a man or a woman, that is human, then what happens? An additional element was given, the sense of right and wrong. The sense of right and wrong. And the word dharma as a conduct. The word dharma as a conduct, not as a characteristic, not as a quality, because the word dharma has got many meanings. Among them, one meaning is conduct. This ought to be done, this ought not to be done. This is right, this is wrong. So that part of it was not given to the animals. It is only for man. So dharma is only for man. Man means human being. Therefore, the human being only is now governed by rules and regulations. Whereas the animals are not governed by rules and regulations, where they have to analyze and then do. It is instinctive for them. For the animals, it is all instinctive. That is, they naturally behave. Still subtle, in a subtle manner to understand this one. What is the difference between the behavior of a human being and an animal? Behavior, conduct part. An animal rises without having to be woken up by anybody. It rises. It is just completely merged with the natural happenings. Sun rises, birds start chirping beautifully. And you see the cows also, they give their moo, cows also. All the reptiles, everything, the moment they see light, then they start moving. Or if it is the other type of living beings who live only in the night, for example, Divandha pranina kechit, Ratravandha sadabhari. Some are blind in the night, some are blind in the day. So like that you have those creatures also. When they see sunset, they come out. Completely aligned with the nature. Completely aligned with the nature. The external nature, and according to the external nature, their internal nature also. For example, the hibernation during a particular period, reproduction during a particular period, what to eat, what not to eat. It is not any thinking there. There is no thinking there. It is just spontaneously being. It's natural behavior of the animals. Then comes the human behavior. The conduct of the human. Initially, when the intellectual development was not, people say that according to the Darwin's theory or other theories, that earlier man was like the Stone Age man and then he became intelligent. But that theory is not valid. That's what I am talking. A different theory altogether. In the theory of Sanatana Dharma, man was born with intelligence only directly as an evolved soul. That's why the Marichiya, the Saptarishis, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar Rishi, they are all completely evolved souls. They came as a spark from the divinity. They are evolved already. Then again the creation of other living beings. Then starts the gradation in intellectual. There is a gradation in intellectual capacities, understanding, but not that he was an animal first and then he has to come like that. That is not applicable here. So now, once that you see that what we call that discretionary power to decide, and he sees the sunrise. He sees the sunrise, and then when he sees the animals rising and then going, he also is able to see only during the day because of the light. Therefore, initially, when his intellectual power, whatever he had, he did not apply it. He also behaved just like the animals behaved, absolute minimum necessities. The fruits are available on the trees, leaves are available, herbs are available on their own. There is no cultivation or anything like that. Everything is available. So he then starts using those things and then he survives. Then sun was about to set. The sun was about to set. At the time of setting, naturally he is feeling tired. More tired because not because his body is tired, but because darkness has come. The moment darkness has come, moving about is not so easy. So he sat down, he lay down, then he started sleeping. But later on what happened? By nature's behavior, on one particular day in a sunset, that sunset time, he was just taking one stone because anybody can play with anything. He was playing with the stone and suddenly discovered fire. The moment he discovered fire, and then he learned how to tend the fire and keep it burning. He said, I can have light even in the night. So if I am not tired, I need not sleep. If I am not tired, I need not sleep. I can keep awake. Whereas the animal doesn't think like that. The animal means once the darkness has come, it doesn't invent anything, just sleeps off. So man, now he says, now I can make a torch out of it. And now I can get what I want during the day, but if I don't get something in the day, I can also get it in the night. So now, that means now, using the nature and going differently, not according to his nature. Not according to his nature, which the animals do. The animals just go according to the nature in which they are born. Whereas man is different. He can go in a different direction, against the nature also. He can go against the nature also. Instead of saying against, we say in a different direction he can go. So what are all the normal needs of an animal and a man? Normal needs of an animal and a man. Food, clothing. Clothing is not necessary for animals, food is necessary. So food he also takes, animal also takes. But the animal, for it when it is hungry, it is compulsory that it should take food, otherwise it will get agitated. The animal will get agitated if it doesn't take food. A human being normally used to take food whenever he felt hungry. One day he didn't find food, but he found fire. So his mind went into the fire and he forgot the food. His mind went into the fire and then he forgot food. He started working with the fire 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 o'clock. He completely forgot about food. Whereas the animal doesn't forget about food at all. So one need also will be transcended by an intellectual satisfaction. If an intellectual satisfaction is there, intellectual which is absent in the, that is, an animal will not be thrilled by fire and keep on playing with it. The animal will not keep on playing with something because it is thrilled and then forget its food. Continuously, exactly at the time of food it will come running, and you put a ball, it will run, and behind it, again come back for food. If you put a ball, again it will run, come back for food. So this man is not like that. Man, he can completely forget food. And then maybe 124 also he can forget. He is doing a very interesting, same way sleep also. So this is an indication of the difference between man and animals. That man has the ability to change his nature. Man has the ability to change his nature. How much can we change? What is the amount of change we can make in nature? Ultimate. But there are some obstacles also for that. It also should be. Man can change nature. How much? As I told you, it's ultimate. His capacity is sky high. His capacity is sky high to change the nature. So yesterday when we spoke about the yogis, about the rishis, what did he say? To become God. That much is the capacity man has got. That much is the capacity man has got. But Paramatma Sankalpa has another part. Paramatma's will was not just to become many, but to have a beautiful game of playing around with these jivatmas also. What is that play? That is the play of illusion. Play of illusion. So, the main goal and the highest achievement is to become God. The highest achievement is to become at par or as completely as equal to Paramatma, our source. That is the highest achievement. Because whenever you see whatever people doing, anything you see, technological advancement, have you got a mark, so this is the highest advancement? Is there a mark where you say this is the highest advancement? Beyond that we cannot go. Is there anything like that? Because the space itself is so vast, creation is so vast, there is ample room for continuous development. Ample. An example is the space city which is being built now. Space city. Already many people are booking here to stay there. So space city is being built now. Beyond that, is there anything? Yes, there is something beyond that also. Travel. Space travel is infinite, no? It is when the sun itself is nothing more than a dot in this. How much space should be there? How much to be discovered there? How much is there to be discovered? So continuously there will be area. Continuously there will be possibility of some advancement or the other technological advancement. That means Paramatma is infinite. So they cannot put a fixed line and say that is the end. Therefore, but the effort of human being is what? As I told you, it's just to look at ourselves. As you are sitting, the posture which you have sat down now is the best posture you have already chosen. Instinctively you have chosen the best posture. Instinctively, the posture in which you are sitting down is that posture in which you can sit maximum, that in your capacity. That's what you have chosen. The dress which you are wearing is, as far as you know, the best for the occasion. The food which you had today morning, as far as you know, is the best possible. You wouldn't compromise on it. So that quest for the best. The quest for the best is a continuous drive in us. It's a continuous drive. When I am speaking also, I will speak, I am using those words through which I can best communicate to you. I am using those words through which I can communicate to you best. There is a natural tendency in us to come out with the best and to see the best. It is not just one person or two persons or three. Even the villager. See, normally what we see, a village scene. olden days village scene of Indian village scenes. The farmer is there. During the harvest period, during the cultivation period, is cultivating. And when there is no cultivation period and everything is over, all of them will join together and sit down, then talk. They'll sit down. On corner they'll sit down and talk. And then why do they talk? Because they have to do something or the other. There's no other go. So they will sit down and talk. कैसा है भाई? ठीक है? Same question only today. ठीक है? कैसे? अरे कहाँ है? और चला ऐसे? क्या करके हालत बहुत बिगड़ी है? From that story will start completely. Whole thing. Entire day they will talk. Entire day till somebody comes and calls them, they will talk. And then they will find. So as for how many years we have been talking like this, then slowly they will come to some new addiction. Chalo, some kick chahiye. They will put some pan or something like that. See how mind is. Even there also you want the best only. The most best utilization of time where the criteria is ananda. The criterion is always pleasure only. Always the criterion is pleasure. How pleasantly can I spend the time? How pleasantly can I spend the time? How much more pleasure can I achieve through some development here? If you take a certain texture, you see it's soft. Will it be soft on me? How long it is? What is the life of this one? Color will the color remain? Will it go away? Will other people appreciate when I wear it? So many criteria. All the criteria is I should be happy with that. I should be happy with it. It should make me happy. Whatever I do should make me happy. The more the happiness, you say that I have done something much good. I have achieved something. More the happiness. So like this, suppose somebody comes and says, I've been to Niagara. I saw the waterfalls. What a wonderful waterfalls. Niagara waterfalls. And the other person goes, "Arey, kya hai? Niagara mein kya hai? Kuch nahi hai. See the Grand Canyon. See how beautiful it is. Nothing is in front of Himalayas. What are you saying?" Another person will say. See, everything is their own experience. The highest joy which each one of us has achieved in our life. And still why do you suppose a person is regularly going to Kailash Yatra? Regularly going to Kailash. Only because of the thrill it gives him. Only because of the joy it gives to him. So now, suppose somebody tells him, 10 times you have been to Kailash, just behind Kailash where nobody else has gone, I'm going to show you one place. Behind Kailash. Get ready to go there. Again the reason is what? The thrill, the joy. So this is where the continuous drive is for joy. Continuous drive. Now among this continuous drive, which is that person whom collectively with all our intelligence we say, this person is a successful person. Everybody's drive is the same. All of us are trying the same thing only to achieve joy. But among us only, when we sit down together or some intellectuals sit down together, they come and say, who is the person who is called as successful in life? I'm telling you, this is a human judgment. It is a human judgment. I'm not talking about God's judgment. What is the human judgment? Who is the person who is called as successful? Paisa how much?
Who's got a lot of money?
First thing you will say is, one should have a lot of money for having, it's got to be called as successful. पैसे से क्या रखा? पैसे होने के बाद भी यदि तबीयत ठीक नहीं तो क्या करेंगे? हेल्थ होना चाहिए अच्छा. हेल्थ, गुड हेल्थ शुड है. अरे हेल्थ भी है, पैसा भी है. कोई लोग हमसे बात नहीं करेंगे तो रिलेशनशिप होना चाहिए. ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप होना चाहिए. अरे पैसे भी है, सब कुछ है, संतान नहीं है तो क्या फायदा? So you have again comparisons, perception changes there. So everybody's perception of joy is different. So some saints have beautifully formed it, made a small shlok like thing in Hindi. Pehla sukh nirogi kaya, pehla sukh nirogi kaya, दूजा सुख घर में कुछ माया, दूजा सुख घर में कुछ माया, तीजा सुख कुलवंती नारी, तीजा सुख कुलवंती नारी पर मर्द के लिए, तीजा सुख कुलवान पुरुष, समझ लो, तीजा सुख कुलवान पुरुष, चौथा सुख संतान आज्ञाकारी. चौथा सुख संतान आज्ञाकारी. So you have 4 sukh for grihasthashram. Pehla sukh nirogi kaya. It's imperative, no? If you have a sick body, can you call it as a happy life? Definitely not. So you have to have health. Then घर में कुछ माया, पैसा भी चाहिए. घर में कुछ. तीजा सुख अच्छा पार्टनर. अच्छा पार्टनर चाहिए, कोई भी हो. चौथा सुख संतान चाहिए, अच्छी संतान चाहिए. 4 सुख गृहस्थों के लिए. साधुओं के लिए क्या सुख है? पहला सुख निरोगी काया. साधुओं के लिए भी चाहिए शाकाया. अच्छा नहीं तो क्या, कहाँ जाएंगे? दूजा सुख सिर पर एक छाया. सिर पर एक छाया. तीजा सुख तपस्या भारी. तीजा सुख क्या है? तपस्या भारी. चौथा सुख दर्शन त्रिपुरारी. वहाँ भी 4 सुख. सो ये सुख को कैसे पा रहे हैं? how we are attaining these sukhs. That process itself decides the wisdom in us. How much, for example, pehla sukh nirogi kaya. Are we really healthy? The first question, whether we are wise. Are we wise? Are we prudent? Comes from, is our body healthy? If it is not healthy, then our wisdom is lacking. Because nobody, no wise person, no prudent person will accept a defective body and then continue to be with it. So, the first comes, if your health is bad, then there is something lacking in you. What is that lacking? You are not using all your human faculties. You are not using them properly. That's why you are sick. A child is sick, we can understand, because there is a lack of knowledge. But even in the adult, there is lack of knowledge, but there is lack of effort also. There is the lack of effort also, and then there is another thing, adat se lachar. Adat se lachar. Adat se lachar means you become a slave to the habits which have been established all over the years. So it means what? Man has the capacity to change himself. As I tell you, there are certain difficulties. What are those difficulties? The pleasure which you are getting out of what you have been doing all the while is so much that the pleasure what you see in a healthy body is not so much. The pleasure of a healthy body is going to come tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I don't know. But the pleasure of eating what I want is very nice. So you have chosen among the 2 pleasures. Which pleasure you have chosen? The immediate pleasure you have chosen. The one which gives you pleasure now. The one which gives you lesser effort. Future के बारे में क्या पता है? कल क्या होगा? किसको पता? कल क्या होगा? So gradually you just went on, you go on drifting. So you allow the health to deteriorate. Doesn't matter because I'm getting pleasure. Health can deteriorate, no problem. कुछ माया चाहिए, जो है उसका सदुपयोग नहीं है, दुरुपयोग करना. क्यों? अभी आनंद मिल रहा है. तो future should have been also. The future is not far future, I'm saying. Tomorrow also could have been a happy tomorrow. Next moment could have been a happy moment. But the present moment it's giving you pleasure, so you choose that. Because the momentary pleasure which you get now, out of satisfying somebody or satisfying your tongue, or the eye, or the ear, or the touch, you have given up the possibility of a long-standing happiness. So therefore the difference between a human being and an animal is that he can change himself only if he wishes. If a person is continuing to suffer for many years, it is only because he is not at all willed, is not willed strongly. And you see many poor people are there. We can't say, can you say that they also have not willed? Can you say that they also, yes, that the truth is that only. The truth is that only, that they have not willed properly. Why? Because even that small hut which they possess, they don't want to give up. The hut which they have got, they don't want to leave that place. Or they don't want to leave the kith and kin suffering. Or they have done so many that is acts the previous births. Ultimately they have come to such a state that they don't even get an opportunity to rise. They don't get an opportunity to rise like a slave, a person who is tied by chains and pulled and pulled. You may see any other old history about slaves. The slaves also, sometimes 100 slaves are looked after by one man, sometimes 1,000 slaves are looked after by one man. My question arises, they have to work, Actually, the slaves are unchained when they work. Slaves are unchained when they work. How is it possible that 1,000 people continue to work under one person who is so wicked and they don't try to run away? What could be the reason? Have you ever thought?
They are afraid of living. Higher difficulty they may have to.
That higher difficulty they may have to. They have chosen the better among the two evils. Suppose they try to escape, then they have got weapons. The single person who is there, he has weapons. He will shoot, but not only that, torture them, and then get even the kith and kin also in front of them, they will torture. So the fear of that evil which they cannot face, so they continue to be like that. Continue. That means, indirectly if you see, who is actually choosing to be there? Who is choosing to be there? The one who is there only, he is himself choosing. It could be for the sake of kith and kin. One can argue, what can one sacrifice one's child in front of one's own son? Cannot sacrifice. There is no answer to that. It's not whether I can accept or not. It's up to you. So each and every individual is individual only. It's depending upon you, what you can sacrifice, what you cannot sacrifice. You are going to decide how much you are tied, how much you are bound, how much you prefer this, depends upon you. Depends upon you only. So all this is depending upon the individual only. The ultimate joy, happiness or pleasure, whatever you want to call, it is depending upon, here you have to remember that it's talking about the adult only. When you say adult means the one who can choose for himself. The one who can choose for himself even against the, let us say, suggestions from others also. He can choose for himself and he decides. So everywhere the choice is ours. Every single activity of life. Every single activity of life. And you cannot put the blame on anybody else. क्या हो गया, जुकाम हो गया, क्या करूं, बहुत आइस खिला दिया उन्होंने, आइसक्रीम बहुत खिला दिया उन्होंने खिलाया या आपने खाया? उन्होंने खिलाया और आपने खाया, तो कौन सा सच है? उन्होंने खिला दिया, बहुत खिला दिया उन्होंने, क्या करूं, मैंने मना किया, बहुत मना किया, माने नहीं। किसी प्रकार जिम्मेवारी तो दूसरे के ऊपर ही डालना है ना। So all the while I'm telling you, every single happening in our life, every single happening, if you are not cautious, then you will be caught unaware. If you are not cautious, you will be caught unaware. So if you say that, I didn't know, it just happened like that, can we accept that? No, that's what I said. We have not really truly used our choice in that moment. We have allowed it to happen. We have allowed it to happen. So because we allow it to happen, things happen in our life. Everything. You have to be very careful. Yes. Why did I eat 2 idlis today? Because they served to me. Because I allowed them to serve. I took it. Absolutely clear, no? Is there any doubt about that? Absolutely no doubt. सांभर में ज़्यादा मिर्च डाल दें इन लोगों ने। पहली बार जब मुंह में डाल रहे हैं तो मिर्च पता चल रहा है कि नहीं? पहली बार जब डाल रहे हैं तो तभी पता चल गया ना मिर्च। So I should have avoided that. There is one possibility, and there is ज़्यादा मिर्च. Let us say 1 cup of sambar has been served. I can always keep a little, as you know, so many times you have left in the left. You can always make it half. The moment I put the first morsel, I know how much it is, how much chilies are there. But what happens? First time the chili, it's nice. खाते जाओ, बाद में पता चलता है, बाद में पता चलता है बहुत मिर्च डाल दिया, पेट बिगड़ गया. 9 out of 10 people will come and tell me, फूड पॉइजनिंग हो गया. फूड भी आपने बनाया, पॉइजन भी आपने बनाया, फूड पॉइजनिंग हो गया. How much we try to put the responsibility of our state of affairs on others. Every time that is the tendency. Every time that is the tendency. But the moment you start understanding that you are the cause for all your things happening in your life, and you see you become cautious. Very gently you will behave with others now, very more understanding. With more understanding you will behave with others. At the same time you will have a beautiful resolve in your mind. Because you want everybody to be with you. You want everybody to be with you. Our relations are also necessary. But you know, because I cannot blame anybody. I am going to blame myself only. Let me see where I can put limits in my behavior. I myself have to find the limits. Where should I go? Where should I not go? What should I eat? What should I not eat? Can I speak everywhere? Shall I speak everywhere? What should I speak everywhere? Everything, who is going to decide now? You are going to decide. The moment you start deciding for yourself, you have the full responsibility on yourself, and that is the normal tension a person, why है ना, उसी की वजह से मेरा जीवन बिगड़ गया. Every time you see, tension is there. So no more, any hundreds of people can come and go. अच्छा, मुझे ये तकलीफ आ रही है, इसका कारण वो नहीं है, मैं हूँ. So tension is reduced. Tension is because you are the only person, you are the only cause for everything. You alone are the cause. Once you come to that conclusion and that understanding, then your life becomes easier actually. It's not difficult, it becomes easier. But we like to choose for that momentary, shirking of responsibility. We want to shirk away the responsibility and then make somebody else responsible for that. So this all comes from proper, continuous contemplation on ourselves through satsang. That is why rishis keep on repeating, never miss satsang. Never ever miss satsang. It is the most valuable part of a human life. Most valuable part of the human life. And the longer the satsang you participate in your life every day, the more peaceful your life is, the more wiser your living is. Wiser living. You can be in any status which you are, whatever status you may be, but those few moments of satsang which awaken in you your own self, they awaken in you your own hidden self. Those moments are the most precious moments. Hari Om Tat Sat.